Welcome to Bosch Cyber Bytes, vulnerability scanning versus pen testing. While vulnerability assessments and penetration testing are part of the same cybersecurity puzzle, they're two very different pieces. Vulnerability assessments, or scanning, is a testing process used to identify and rank vulnerabilities in a device or system. Because the cybersecurity landscape changes so often, vulnerability scans should be performed probably on a quarterly basis or after any significant changes. This allows you to run updated databases in your scanning software to check for newly discovered vulnerabilities. Vulnerability scans are typically performed with automated tools such as Nessus, Rapid7, or Nmap. And depending on the network-facing surface of the device and the scanning software that you're using, vulnerability scans typically only take a few seconds to a few minutes per host. On the other hand, penetration testing is an active simulated attack designed to try to leverage a specific vulnerability during the scanning process on a system and/or an individual device. Pen tests are typically requested by a customer. They can be performed both internally or externally by a third-party partner or cybersecurity vendor. In product testing, a manufacturer may have two separate vendors, one to pen test the hardware of a product and one to pen test the software of a product. Pen testing is typically performed with the help of automated tools such as Metasploit, Armitage, or Burp Suite. And depending on the defined scope of a pen test can last days or longer, depending on the type of pen test and the extent of trying to exploit a specific vulnerability. There are also different types of pen testing, the first of which is known as white box testing. In a white box test, the tester has full knowledge of the product to include passwords. If you're testing software, he has access to the actual code. The second type of testing is known as gray box testing. In this scenario, the tester has some but limited knowledge of the product or system that he's working with. The last type of testing is known as black box testing. In this scenario, the tester has zero knowledge and is basically acting as a hacker or an outsider trying to attack the system. Shown in this example are the vulnerability scan results of a target Windows Server machine in my lab. You will notice that some of the vulnerabilities in the scan have a special marking, which means there's actually an exploit for that vulnerability available. So after a basic vulnerability assessment, I can now take that published exploit that I've identified and I can try to leverage that specific vulnerability with that exploit. If I choose to pen test one of the vulnerabilities that has no published exploits, I may end up spending days or weeks developing a script or code to attack that vulnerability. So if the scheduling on your Outlook calendar looks like this, something's not right. This concludes this module. Thank you.